Everything I do in life, it sucks. That's why when I was 300 pounds and 24 years old, it wasn't like I had some big epiphany of let's just go be a Navy SEAL and let's lose some weight. No, I knew my entire life was gonna be a struggle. I'm not a real smart guy. And what I mean by that is I was born with ADD, ADHD. My brain cannot retain information. I'm not some genetic freak when it comes to running, when it comes to lifting weights. I am absolutely the bottom of the barrel. And people will never believe me. And they can just, whatever, what you want to believe. So when you ask me this question about what does studying look like for me, I have to go over the same page over and over and over and over again. While Jennifer can look at that page while she's quizzing me, she'll learn it right then as she doesn't know anything about it. She will quiz herself or quiz me and learn it as she's quizzing me. It's the most frustrating thing in the world how my brain works, which is why I just ignored it. And I said, I'm not even trying to jump off into this shit and learn how to read, how to write, how to memorize, how to become something I am not. But through that process, something happened to me. And I realized this is why I feel sorry for no one. In this podcast, they're going to really not like me because people are going to think that I am maybe lying or maybe fibbing or exaggerating. No, I was the lowest form on earth, no talent, no ability to learn, and I literally know what it is to be rock bottom and to build that up. So that question about learning is a pain in my ass, and I don't have to do it. So think about it, I'm 49 years old and I'm a multi-millionaire. I don't have to do anything. So all I thought about when I was growing up is, man, I can't wait to one day get to the point where I no longer have to do this stuff. But what happened as I got older, it became a way of living. So it's how I do every day. It's a discipline, it's a regimen. It was a choice I made. And the choice I made was, what are you willing to sacrifice and what are you willing to give up to find every bit of who you are as a human being? And I was willing to give up everything to do that. So studying is no joke.
I haven't had a drink, I lost 30 pounds. He lost that 60 pounds, he never went back. Now he's super fit. It's amazing. So some people flip the switch. He is very self-critical by nature.
That's what
he's super self-critical.
Yep, that's what flips the switch. Think about it, man. We know what to do. We don't need Angie Huberman to tell us what to do. We know what to do. Every one of us. That's why he flipped it so fast, because he knew what to do. He didn't go by your exact protocol. He didn't go by the exact, no. He knew exactly what to do. And you just saying some shit to him, it woke something up. He knew what to do. I have the ability. I don't have the, I'm not good enough, smart enough. I'm not talented enough to do that. Some people can start at 1. Some people don't have to start at all. If you lack talent, you can't sit back and say, I'll start in half an hour. I can't do that. I gotta start now. And after I get back from starting, I gotta start again. And then when I get done with that run or that study session, if it wasn't good enough, I gotta go back again. Because repetition is what taught me everything. So you can honestly outwork anything, but it's that you obviously are a very talented man.
Well, I have worked hard at certain things and built up some things that I've been good at most of my life.
You're amazing.
Gathering,
Truly.
Organizing, and disseminating information is something I've been doing since I was a little kid. I used to give lectures at school on Monday about this.
But for me to stop stuttering, I gotta build fucking confidence. And speech therapy didn't help that. Nothing helped that. I have to forego a lot of shit to be as fucked up as I am to build confidence. For me to stand in the fucking room of 10,000 of one person and not be like, oh, put my head down, let me look around. Let me read these paragraphs first, and then before I read the paragraphs, because they call me next, let me just leave the room kind of stutter. That's a miserable life. And that's one of many things I did, besides lying, besides being insecure, besides being immature, besides being fat, besides being the only black kids in my school. There's a lot of things I had to overcome to gain confidence. And in doing so, a lot of that had to go, a lot of it. So I became the guy that became once again misunderstood. You only sleep 4 hours a day, 2 hours a day. Sometimes you don't sleep at all. Like, what's this? I know it's all important. I can't, something's gotta go. For me to get confidence, because confidence is the building block of where I'm trying to go. For me to gain confidence in myself, this fucked up kid has got to do a lot of fucked up shit to gain confidence. And along the way, the stutter went away and I gained confidence. And now my life is a little bit more, there's no balance. It's a little bit more what it should be for a lot of people, but there'll never be balance because confidence is something that you're constantly, confidence and belief, you're building every day. And so something's got to give. And I'm willing to forgo a lot of things to have that because I know that is, if you want to give somebody kryptonite, take that shit away from them. So yeah, I don't sleep sometimes, and sometimes I don't eat the right way, and sometimes I don't do this and do that and whatever, man. But you put me in a room with 10,000 people any time of the day, and I walk in there thinking I'm the baddest motherfucker in here. Because I know what it took to be on this stage. And a lot of people will not do that. So that's what it takes. Friction is growth.
Friction.
Yes.
You're up in the morning, and I imagine David Goggins going to the coffee maker, stretching out, good morning, sunshine, and you're telling me from eyelids open, there's friction.
Yes, and that is the thing that people don't fucking get. The biggest misunderstanding about David Goggins of all time, whether you believe in God or not, I do. He put this lab rat, which is me, on this planet and said, let me fucking see what a beat up, abused kid who can barely learn, who has a twisted body, messed up genetics, sickle cell, this and that. Let me give him everything that pretty much disqualifies you from the military. But back then, it wasn't as strict. And let's put him in this and see what comes out of it. So to do that, friction. You don't wake up in the morning time and go to the coffee maker. Matter of fact, sometimes you don't even sleep. What it requires is when I'm at 2 o'clock it's 2 o'clock in the morning and my brain is thinking about a fucking drug. And I gotta get up and look in my book to see if that drug is, how I remember it. And this is every day of my fucking life. That's why when I train a fighter or I train someone, I'm like, you have no fucking idea how great you really are. Because you are using such minimal of what you have.
I'm not gonna step away from this and think, okay, there are 25 neural circuits that can explain 10 of the things that David's talking about. And what I'm thinking about is the fact that everybody has a brain, they have a mind. Forget the brain. The brain is just the physical structure, but what that manifests, what that creates is the mind. And everybody has that. So I do believe that everyone has the capacity to do what you're talking about at some level. I also will be the first to confess that I think you're a highly unusual, let's just say, maybe even N of 1, as we say in science, sample size of 1.
Right.
Somebody who's created this process for themselves and keeps themselves in this forward center of mass with the stick battering the back of their head all the time.
Right.
Highly unusual. But this internal medicine cabinet that you're talking about, building up true confidence, not needing anything from the outside, I like to think that people want that. They want to be known. They're afraid, but that they want to be known for who they really are, and that you're describing the path to do this.
Right.
And I will say, I'm immensely grateful that you're talking to us this way today about things that you've talked about before, but you're hitting it a little differently. I like to think.
Who you are, exactly who you are. And that was the problem I had. That's the problem that a lot of us have in life. No one knows who you really are. No one knew who I really was. I went to a school where there were a lot of black kids. A lot of black kids that want to be in special ops. I never talked about special ops with black kids. Why? I was wondering what, I'm not gonna fit in. That's not what they do. A lot of black kids don't do that kind of shit. So whatever I wanted to do, no one really knew the real me growing up because I never wanted anybody to know the real me. I was always afraid of what you might say or how you're gonna feel or whatever. You got feelings. You have a life that you have to live. So it's important that whatever's on your mind, you let that person know. Therefore, you're giving them the option to be with you or not.
Deep down, really crave the direct message. Like, what are you about? What are you not about? But I think now everyone's afraid of getting canceled. It's a big deal, right? Getting canceled, that people think, oh, I can't work who I am. Or if I'm not pretending to be somebody else, then, silence is considered, agreement. You know, there's all sorts of complicated stuff. And I do feel for the generation coming up because we
Right.
didn't have social media
Right.
and all of that. Getting just walled off from that, there's a real benefit from just not paying attention.
People love to lie. You know, I thought I was the only person, like when I was growing up, I thought I was the only person that lied because I lived in the bubble. And people love to lie about who they're not. They love to lie about who they're not, dude. And that's, for me, the reason why I'm so vulnerable and I'm so real and honest. Find somebody to come out and tell me I'm lying about my fucking life. And for me to come where I came from and have the resume I have now, the confidence you get, how are you able to just be so hard? Cause I never turned the fucking thing off. Cause once it turns off, I go right back to the David Goggins that is. And that's the guy that I'm constantly fighting every day. And it's a choice.